Good evening and welcome to Mr. Derrick Flips Out. So, what am I flipping out about tonight? I'm flipping out about volume. It's all about volume, and not volume in my hair, because I don't have any, but it's about volume of rectangular prisms. So, before we even start today, because I forget sometimes, make sure you have a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper or your math notebook, whatever you've got. Alright? If you need to put me on pause so you do that, go ahead. Alright, you should be ready to go. Before we start, let's go over our mission objective. Okay? I will be able to use a formula to find the volume of rectangular prisms. One more time. I will be able to use a formula to find the volume of rectangular prisms. Okay, before we start today, what is volume? Alright? Well, we've done surface area. This is basically a rectangle. It's flat. I can measure the sides and I can find the surface area. And so, for example, this is 8.5 by 11 and I could find the surface area of this piece of paper. But volume's different. Volume is not just length and width, it's also height. This is volume. It takes up space. There's some air inside there, I guess. Alright, so it actually is an object. It has length, width, and height. And that's the formula. It's actually pretty easy, but let's first review how to find regular surface area. Okay, so we know area is length times width. So let's say we have a rectangle. It is 2 inches by 5 inches. I can find out that this equals, by 2 times 5, or 5 times 2, doesn't really matter, 5 times 2 equals 10 inches squared. Because if I split this up, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 inches squared in area. But we're not doing area. We're taking it to a new level because we're doing volume. Okay? That's volume. It takes up space. So, how do I find volume? It's very similar. Oh, I got a new pen. It's kind of blue. Oops. So it's length times width, and then we're going to add a new one, times height. Okay? So this is length, write these down, times width, times height. Okay. And what exactly does that mean? Well, now we need to look at a two-dimensional figure. This is something you've been doing. So let's start super simple. Let's take a cube. We're going to imagine that's a cube. We're going to imagine that all of the edges are the same, all the faces have the same surface area. So let's imagine that our cube measures 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. Okay? So we're going to then plug it into length times width times height. So first I find the length. In this case it doesn't really matter. I have side and side, but I'll pick this one. So it's 3. My width is 3. My height is 3. Now I multiply. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Now, I'm not using square centimeters in this case because I'm taking up space. Remember the cube? Okay? So in this case, it's cubes. So it's cubic units, or centimeters cubed. So instead of a 2, I'm using a 3. So it's centimeters to the power of 3, or what we call cubed. Alright, let's try another one. I threw that one on the floor because I didn't like it. It's being mean to me. Oh, this one's better anyway. See, look at that. Alright. So let's try another shape. We're not going to go for a cube this time. We're going to use a rectangular prism. Let me draw one here. You're going to get really really good at drawing these eventually. There's our imaginary lines there. Alright, so in this case, let's say the length is 4 inches. Let's say that the width is 3 inches and my height is 2 inches. Okay, not drawn to scale, but we're going to imagine just for fun. Okay, so now I'm going to plug this right in. My length is 4. My width is 3. My height is 2. Okay, whoops, not H, 2. Can you see that? Okay. Now, I multiply, and all you do is go in order. Okay, you can group them if that helps. 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 equals 24. 24 what? Well, my units that I was using is inches. Inches what? Inches squared? No. Inches cubed. Alright, let's try one more together. I'm going to give you some time to work it out on your own. Okay, I'll rewrite this for you because there we go. That's the formula that we need to use. Alright, let me make one more for you here. Okay, it's a nice little stick of butter for you. Alright, so let's say this length here is 5 feet. That's a big stick of butter. Okay. And this is 2 feet. That's our width. And our height is also 2 feet. So plug these numbers in where you go. Remember, this is our length, our width, and our height. Okay, go ahead and do that. Alright, let's see if you did it right. So, our length is 5. Our width is 2. Our height is 2. Let's multiply them all up. 5 times 2, it's 10. 10 times 2 is 20. You're almost done. You have to figure out what your cubic units are going to be. So I'm using feet, but I have to remember, I have to add a little something here. I have to add a 3 up here to make sure that I show that I know that it's feet cubed. Alright, so those are a couple for you to practice. If you didn't get it or you think you have to go over it again, make sure you go back. Just remember the formula is length times width times height. Alright, that is the key. Now, let's go over our mission objective one last time. I will be able to use a formula, length times width times height, to find the volume of rectangular prisms. Alright, like I said before, if you need to go back and watch it again, that's great. Otherwise, be prepared to teach this to a classmate tomorrow and have a great night. See you tomorrow.